This is central Hat Yai on a Sunday afternoon, and under normal circumstances it should be crowded with Malaysian and Singaporean tourists. But of course this year isn't normal, and it's actually like a ghost town. This building here, Lee Gardens Plaza, used to be the absolute epicentre of Hat Yai. I first came here in 2002 and this place was really jumping. It's quite a tall building. The upper floors are hotel rooms. The bottom 4 floors are retail, and there used to be a cinema. And every retailer wanted to be here. This is where all the Thai teenagers used to hang out. Back in those days there was no Wi-Fi, and there used to be quite a big internet shop inside Lee Gardens Plaza where everyone went to check their email. There was a really good feel to the place, and this is what first attracted me to Hat Yai. I actually stayed in the hotel next door the first week I was here, and then I found an apartment fairly close near Shang Temple. But then with every move I made after that, I moved a bit further away from the centre. But the centre remained quite busy for quite a long time. So this area has gradually been going downhill for quite a long time, and the final straw came in 2020 with the COVID pandemic, and the Thailand shut its borders. All the tourists stopped coming, and this area is really only for tourists. Locals like myself do their shopping elsewhere, and there's just nothing here now. There's quite a big tourist industry in Hat Yai, but it's quite different to the tourist industry in other parts of Thailand. In places like Phuket, Pattaya, Samui, you get a lot of Russians, mainland Chinese, Europeans, North Americans, and they might go for 2 or 3 weeks during the winter. In Hat Yai it tends to be mainly Singaporeans and Malaysians, and they just go for the weekends, and that goes on throughout the year, so there's no real tourist season as such. The Malaysian and Singaporean tourists also come for different things. They're not really into beaches, and I did a video recently about the water park that closed, and they weren't interested in that either, which is one of the reasons it closed. They like to shop, they like to eat the local food, and they like to take advantage of the many cheap massage shops. And because there's normally so much demand for these massage places, hundreds of little shops have opened. And this is a little road near to Lee Gardens Plaza that is full of massage shops, but what you'll notice is that most of them have got their shutters up and they've been closed for months. At the start of the COVID thing, they remained open for a while, but then the owners realised there was just no point. It was costing them money in electricity and staff wages, and there were just no customers, so it was pointless keeping open, and most have just shut up shop. There are still a few open. I've just spoken to a woman who didn't want to appear on video. She was the only person working in the shop, and she told me that so far today there have been no customers. She's just over there actually. She wanted me as a customer, and much as I would have liked to help her, I have to collect my daughter soon, and I just don't have time today. So unfortunately I had to say no. Hat Yai, city of happiness, but when you take a look at the vendors' faces at the moment, they've got no business at all, and they don't look at all happy. The taxi drivers are also suffering badly. I've just spoken to this guy, and no customers today, and there are a lot of people who rely solely on tourists for income, and with no tourists there is no income. Chokdi krab. So what? Sawadee krab. Soวันนี้ไม่มีลูกค้าใช่ไหมครับไม่มีลูกค้ากลับบ้านกี่โมงครับก็โอเคแรกฟรีก็โอเคgo back ตอนนี้ afternoon okay yeah น่าสงสารคนเยอะไม่มีงานไม่มีเงินใช่โอเค โอเคปีหน้าดีกว่า โอเคโชคดีครับ
Thank you. Good luck.
This is another small road with lots of massage shops, and it's the same story. As you can see, the shutters are down, and as with that taxi driver I just spoke to, there's just no customers. It's just not worth them staying open. Just a complete waste of time. And this little road leads to one of the local markets in the centre of town. There are a few quite famous markets. One is called Gimyong. Sells a lot of clothes and dried food and fresh fruits. That seems to be doing okay. The one we're going towards now is called Santisuk, and it sells a lot of cheap electronics and stuff. And they've got other stuff. There's shoes and pens, and this is where you get your pirate software and pirate DVDs. And this place has been really quiet as well during COVID. We're inside now, and it's mainly closed shutters. There are a few shops open. Let's take a walk through. These places like little rabbit warrens. Swaddy crab. Wani mi lukari uncle. No, she doesn't want to speak. Hello. Swaddy crab. Say hello. This one's selling perfumes. Falang ma, chai. Tadi. You always, whenever they see you, they always announce that you're coming. Falang ma. Angret crab. Angret. Yeah, he wants to know where I come from. When I tell them here, they get quite confused. More closed shutters. Lots and lots of closed shutters. And normally on a Sunday this is open and doing very good business. Closed shop open. Sorry crab. Bang na, shall we? Doing her face. Okay, some pirate DVDs. Okay. Oh, she's a few more shops open. Okay. Back outside again, and a few more shops are open. This one sells what look like illegal weapons and also some bedroom accessories. Some mobile phone accessories and cheap shoes and clothes. Actually, these places aren't that cheap. There are no prices displayed, and they always want to try to sell at the maximum possible price. And if you're a foreigner, that means a very high price. And you can very often find quality goods in the department stores for lower prices. I stopped buying stuff at these places years ago, so I got ripped off one too many times. The sort of stuff for sale here is very popular with the Singaporean and Malaysian tourists. Sort of dried food. These toy shops are also really expensive as well. I bought a remote control snake recently. My son saw one at one of these shops and asked how much. They wanted 650 baht. I looked on Lazada and found exactly the same thing for 144 baht. So you come to these places and you think like they're selling stuff at really cheap prices. They're actually not. This little guest house, Sandy Room, has been closed for quite a long time, as have the shops and restaurants nearby. Just so many places closed. It's really sad to see. This place used to be the Cathay Guest House. It's actually quite a famous place. There used to be lots of backpackers that came to Thailand, and they would just follow the banana pancake trail. And on their way up from Singapore, Malaysia into Thailand, they might stop here for a night and just get some information about their onward journey to places like BP or Grubby or Samui. It's closed now. They actually moved to another premises. It's a bit smaller. There was a big fire at the Cathay Guest House a few years ago. I saw some of it actually, and it was quite frightening. And this is one of the shops that got burnt out, and they still haven't restored it. I guess at the moment there's just not enough business to warrant spending money restoring shops. If if they made it nice again, there just won't be any customers. Walking in this direction, we're now going towards the train station. It's the same story with lots of closed businesses. And you might wonder how this affects the people in Hat Yai. And Hat Yai has got a lot more than just tourism. There's big universities, lots of education, and there are lots of businesses that are not related to tourism, and those people are doing just fine. But the people who rely on tourism are really suffering. So it's quite divided, and it doesn't affect me really. So when I first came to Hat Yai, I used to stay in this area, and when you first get to Thailand, you want to be where all the action is, where all the tourists are. And after a while, those very same things start to annoy you. So what I found was I just kept moving further and further out. Now I live quite a long way from this area, so I don't really come here. And the fact that it's really quiet doesn't affect me at all. So, okay.
Hello.
อยากมีเพื่อน
สวัสดีครับ
ชื่ออะไรครับ
ชื่อทิติพงษ์ใจหาชื่อเล่น S
โอเคเป็นคนที่นี่ไหมครับเป็นคน
ใช่ครับ
หัดใหญ่
ครับผม
ขับมอเตอร์ไซค์รับจ้าง
มอเตอร์ไซค์
นานหรือยัง
5 ปี
5 ปีปีนี้แย่มาก
แย่มาก
so ตอนนี้มีลูกวันละกี่คนลูก
ลูก
ค้า
ค้าประมาณได้สัก 6-7 เที่ยว
Okay.
6-7 คนประมาณนั้น
Okay, so he's saying that today he gets about 6 or 7 customers each day. And ปีที่แล้ววันละกี่คนครับ
ปีที่แล้วมากกว่าม
ากกว่าเยอะ
เยอะ
ประมาณกี่คน
ถ้านับเป็นคนก็10 กว่าคนหรือถ้าเป็นตังค์ก็ 500-600 บาท
500
บาทต่อวัน
ปีที่แล้ววันละ500
ต่อวัน
and ปีนี้
200-300
Okay, so he's saying last year about 500 to 600 baht a day, and now about 200 to 300 baht. Okay, มีงานอีกไหมครับ
ส่วนมากก็จะเป็นแก๊ปฟู้ดแก๊ปวินเปิดแก๊ปวิน
เปิดแก๊ปวินคืออะไรครับ
แก๊ปวินก็มอเตอร์ไบค์เนี่ยเป็นแก๊ปคาร์แก๊ปวินแก๊ปฟู้ด
Oh, Grab.
Grab.
Okay, I couldn't quite understand what he said. I mean, but he's also working for Grab, so he's delivering food as well to make some extra money. Okay, Kop Kuma Krab. Chok Dahi Krab. You now see a lot of these guys delivering food for Grab Food or Food Panda, and they seem to be doing quite well. I just spoke to this guy, and he's making about 500 or 600 baht a day at the moment. And he likes the job. He says, it's better than doing a sort of regular job, and he gets quite a lot of freedom as well. So he likes it. And sort of 600 baht a day is a livable wage for a Thai. There's the train station, and around this area there are quite a lot of gold shops that are all closed. There's also travel agencies, so they deal with the foreigners who get off at the train station and then want to continue their journey. They're all closed. The only shops that seem to be doing okay are food shops. There's a little bakery here. No matter how bad things get, people always have to eat. So if you're selling food, you're doing okay. I've known this guy since I moved to Hat Yai in 2003. He's remained doing the same job, whereas I've moved on quite a few times. So let's have a chat with him. So, Kun ชื่ออะไรครับ
ชื่อนพดลครับ
Okay, ชื่อเล่น
ชื่อเล่นชื่อต้น
Don.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's his name.
Yeah.
And เรารู้จักกันนานแล้ว
ปุ้ย30 ปีได้แล้ว
30 ปี He thinks we've known each other for 30 years, but that's a bit of an exaggeration. It's about 17 years.
Yeah.
So, ตอนนี้ขับรถอะไรครับ
ขับรถ
tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we first met, he was riding a motorbike taxi, and now he's got a tuk-tuk. and he's currently chatting to some woman over the road, which is why he looks distracted. Distracted. So, ปีนี้แย่มากใช่ไหม
แย่มากๆครับแย่กันทั้งโลกอะครับ
So yeah, he's saying this year is really bad. He's saying it's across the whole world. Yeah, ทุกประเทศมีปัญหา
มีปัญหาทุกประเทศเลย
ปีนี้แต่งเงินวันละกี่บาทครับ
โอ้ช่วงนี้แย่มากๆวันละ100-200อ่ะ
Okay, so he's saying he only gets about 100 or 200 baht a day. And เมื่อก่อน like ปีที่แล้ว
พันกว่า
Okay, so he's saying before
ทุกวันพันกว่า
he's saying
200
before it's like over 1,000 baht. So now it's 200 baht. So like a fifth of his income. But ลำบากมาก
มากครับ
And
ลำบากทุกคนเลย
มีครอบครัวไหมครับ
มีลูก4ครับ
ลูกสี่ So he's got 4 children. Are you เท่าไหร่ครับโตแล้ว
คนโตก็30
Okay. And
คนเล็ก
ค
ก็
นเล็ก
27
Okay, so all his kids are growing up. They're sort of the oldest one's 30, and Yusuf Jet, Yusuf
ครับ
Ed,
ผม27
Yusuf Jet's the youngest one's 27, so they're all working. So my do Lao Lao, ใช่ไหมครับ
เขาทำงานทุกคนจบทุกคนแล้วครับจบปริญญาแล้ว
ลูกทำงานแล้ว
ทุกคนเลย
Okay, so เขาดูแลพ่อแม่ใช่ไหมครับ
ก็นิดหน่อยนิดหน่อย
Okay, so
เขาก็ลำบากอะเนาะ
Okay, so his kids look after him a little bit, but he doesn't have to look after them. Okay, so ตอนนี้ลูกค้าวันละกี่คนครับ
ไม่มีเลย
ไม่มี just saying there's no customers.
ชาวต่างชาติไม่มามาเลเซียไม่มา
Yeah.
หัดใหญ่ไม่มีอะไรเลย
Yeah, he's saying foreigners just not coming. The borders are closed.
แต่ก็หัดใหญ่ก็ดีเรื่องโควิดนะครับ หัดใหญ่เก่ง
Hat Yai เก่ง
เก่ง
เก่งสมัยครับ
เก่งเรื่องที่ว่าประชาชนหัดใหญ่เขารู้จักป้องกันตัวเอง
Okay.
พอรู้ว่าเป็นโควิดปั๊บคนหัดใหญ่ป้องกันตัวเองหมดเลย
Okay, he's saying that the local people here are very good at protecting themselves from
หัด
COVID.
ใหญ่นี่นายกเก่งเรื่องโควิดเก่งมาก
Prai Patano.
ไม่ใช่
Okay.
ไปพัฒโน
Oh,
no นายกแบงกอก
Nayok Bangkok. Prayut.
ประยุทธ์จะบล็อก
Okay.
เนี่ย
Well, the Prime Minister Prayut is coming in for a lot of criticism from other people, but this guy is saying that he's done a very good job in the country. Okay, and Pina, ดีขึ้นไหมครับ
ปีหน้านี่เพื่อนผมอยู่มาเลเซีย
ใช่
เขาโทรมาบอกปีหน้ายังไม่เปิด
Okay. I just asked him if it's going to be better next year, and he's saying he's got a friend in Malaysia
เพราะว่ามาเล
who
เซีย
told him that next year it's not going to be open.
มาเลเซียยังติดมากเลย
Okay, saying there's a big problem still in Malaysia.
วันหนึ่ง800-900 คนมาเลเซีย
เมื่อไรดีขึ้นครับ
รายวันเลยติดโควิดรายวันเลยมาเลเซียวันละ800-900 คน
Okay, so every day in Malaysia is 900 people getting infected with COVID, so it's still a big
หัดให
problem.
ญ่ไม่มี
Okay.
หัดใหญ่เป็นกูด
None in Hat Yai. Yeah. Okay. มีงานอีกไหมครับ
ผมขับรถตุ๊กๆกับรถเก๋ง2 อย่าง
Okay, so he's saying he's got a tuk-tuk and he's got a regular car. So มีทัวร์กิจไหมครับ like ขับรถแกง
แฟนขายซีฟู้ดอยู่เนี่ย
Okay, he just told me his wife sells
จานทะเล
seafood in the shop opposite. Okay, well ขอบคุณมากครับ
ครับผมครับ
and คุยกันใหม่
โอเค thank you
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
I have a few mixed feelings about the situation at the moment. Mass tourism has brought an incredible amount of money into Thailand, and it has raised the standard of living for millions of Thais. It's given lots of Thais a really good life. Yet, a few years ago, there were some really xenophobic vibes coming out of Thailand. It started to become very uncomfortable dealing with immigration, and the way that some people spoke was as if every single problem in Thailand was caused by foreigners. You know, the Thais themselves weren't responsible for any problems. It was just all foreigners. So they didn't really want foreigners. And this year, they've got what they wanted. And look what's happened. There are massive protests in Bangkok, and none of the issues had anything to do with foreigners. All of the tourist centres are dead, and tourism accounts for a significant percentage of Thailand's GDP. So maybe now the Thais might realise how much they depend on foreigners, and they might just be a bit more appreciative. At the same time, I do feel genuinely sorry for the regular people who have lost all or a significant amount of their income. They rely 100% on foreign tourists for their income, and seeing them suffer really isn't good to see.